Hey, Shalom Akim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem. Dub honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Great Stone Rule Well, and to the Akim and the Falcons on Earth. Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. So just got a quick article here to go over with the Akim, because the more you understand Esau's medical medical field, his pharmaceutical field, his legal field, and so-called insurance field and all that, you just figured out, that, what, it's just a whole ball of confusion, and you have to pray to the Lord, Yahweh Hashem El Shai Ba'ashem Kwakadash, to get you out of this mess. All right. So with the whole advent of this Rona drama going on around the whole world, I haven't heard of any so-called insurance company that is going to be willing to cover the expenses for people that take the juice. All right, so you can imagine. All right, so here is this article talks about the biotech firm called Biogen that developed this Alzheimer's drug is having difficulties with hospitals and insurance companies to get the green light for it to be used. All right, so it just shows you that so much nonsense and terrible is going on, man. You hear reports about these pharmaceutical companies cooking the books and all that, so they could get their medications approved. You hear about the kickbacks they pay to these so-called politicians. It's just a corrupt system. You read about the Rockefellers and the shenanigans of of their goal to have control over people's lives. All right, and it's just terrible, man. It's terrible. When you read the article, it says that Biogen's Alzheimer's drug, the first new treatment for the memory-robbing disease in nearly 20 years, hit new barriers on Thursday. That was yesterday, with some large hospitals declining to use it and health insurers delaying a decision while awaiting coverage terms from Medicare. All right. So that's one thing about this drug development, man. The research has to be made public. All right. The experiments has to be made public, man. All the data they collected, everything, whether it's good or bad, has to be released. But when they start to cook the numbers and trying to curry favor with the FDA or whatever, it becomes a problem for the people that take it. All right, and it's just a destructive system that Esau has put in place. All right. Now it's saying in the next paragraph, an influential panel of medical experts also voted unanimously that there is no evidence that the drug Aduhelm provides a net health benefits to patients. All right, so you have to look at the publications they submitted to the panel. All right, because it takes a while for them to come to a decision like that. They have to ask questions and all that. And for brothers that have some experience in the so-called medical field, you understand what's really going on. All right, and then you keep on reading, and then you understand that it's just a mess. All right, and that's why people don't understand that it's very, very important to be educated on how these so-called medications are being developed. All right, the drugs. You have laws governing the manufacturing of drugs, right? You have laws governing the manufacturing of drugs, all right, and then you also have laws that governing the the processes of experiments. You have the so-called Nuremberg codes and all that stuff, all right. And it's very, very important that I can, pay attention, man, and never fall for the deception, all right? Because this jab doctrine they keep pushing, man, it doesn't pass the mustard test. It doesn't fly with a so-called insurance company because they understand the risks that they're opening themselves up to if they go ahead and accept coverage for for the jabs. All right. So it doesn't matter how the how fast the FDA gives them this emergency use authorization. The insurance companies still have to do their own research. All right. Still have to check the so-called publications. All right. That's why you have scientists and lawyers and so-called statisticians and biostatisticians. They work for the insurance company, and you also have how you call them, man? The folks that deal with statistics, actuarians and all that. They always got to look at what's going on. So it's not just uh, rubber stamp situation. And that's the problem, man. Esau's running out of time. So what does he have to do? He has to lie. He has to fabricate literature to put out there and deceive the people. All right. So I'm going to read from the book of Sirach, chapter 38, verse 4. This is advice the Lord gave us. It says, honor the physician with due honor unto him for the uses which you may have of him, for the Lord had created him. So the physicians that deal with the herbs, man, that know the necessity of this plant that the Lord has put upon the face of the earth, you have to be aware of that knowledge, all right? And to seek those people that are aware of it and know how to use it in the right proportions, all right? It says, for of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king, all right? So it says in verse 3, the skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. That's why a lot of these herbalists are renowned among the people, because they know how to apply the medicines that the Lord has put upon the face of the earth, the herbs, all right? Not this modern laboratory jargon that you see on the shelves. So verse 4 says, the Lord, Yahweh, had created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. All right, and that's the point right there, man. So if you make a phone call to your so-called insurance company and ask them, are they covering the so-called jab? Do they have any policy in place to cover the jab and all that? You'll be surprised at their answer. And if you ask them, can they just send you a copy of the policy and all that? You talk to an expert, you'll be surprised what you learn, all right? So whenever a medication has not been approved by the FDA, the insurance company can't do nothing about it, all right? They can't touch it, all right? So that's why a lot of people are having problems now, that they're stuck. So if they start having all these adverse effects, they start bugging out, hey, that's on them, So the hospital will have to do something else, man. They have to lie. They have to lie, man, and talk about, someone's experiencing some other situation, We don't know what's going on. It's just you know, an allergic reaction and all that stuff, man. So it's gonna be terrible, man, in these last days when a lot of people start to drop like flies. All right. So that's upon the Akim. You could do your research, man, just to get a bit more knowledge of how this system works, man. So always remember, man, this insurance companies, man, they're no joke. That's why they fight so hard to pay the least amount in benefits, to cover people's expenses at the hospital and all that stuff. All right, despite all the premiums you pay in. So when you look at it, from a spiritual standpoint, it's just a Ponzi scheme. So just be careful, man. Be spiritual, and don't fall for the okie doke of this society, despite them putting a sword to your neck. All right, Shalom.